Yo, what's up, gamers? If you think I'm looking awful today, then the way I look is proportional to what I think of this episode. Sorry for looking like this. I thought it's a joke. I wanted to be ridiculous. Also, I was lazy to actually make myself look good. um, this is about episode 6 of Picard, and I know I'm way late. There's actually episode 7 is out, and I still haven't seen it yet. And I don't like this. I hate it. I hate episode 6, especially since it came after episode 5, which I loved, and I was finally on board with the series. It was annoying. Um, the love and drama between characters, like their relationships, it was so cringy. I hated the scene with Rios and Tilly 2.0. And then there was another scene with Ruffy, I think. I don't know. I haven't written it down, so maybe I'm imagining it. It's been a while since I've watched the episode, sorry. And I was also very tired. Narek and Soji, those scenes were cringy beyond belief. It was so awful. I hated every second of it. But at least the story progressed and continued. That's like the one thing I guess that's positive I can say about this episode. That stuff happened, a lot of stuff. How can a random Starfleet lady just grant Picard, who's like notoriously famous for all his bad stuff he did recently, how can she just grant him diplomatic status? Like just hand wave it? Like even if she's an admiral or whatever, I didn't recognize her rank pips properly. How is live subspace communication without like interruptions, like you have to wait for an answer, possible if they are in Romulan space or almost in Romulan space? And one would assume this important person that can grant diplomatic status is not just on the Romulan border somewhere, but deeper in Federation territory. Even while they were in Federation territory before, they often had to wait a few hours or like a day for responses and had to act on their own. But this is live communication. That admiral has to be insanely close. Or like, I guess they have access to the Romulan subspace network. I don't know. It makes no sense. Why did they beam Picard over there unsupervised without a guide? Especially knowing that he has a Borg trauma. I know it made for this really dramatic scene, of him losing it. It makes absolutely zero sense though, especially if you have this top modern thingy like secret Borg stuff's happening from Romulans of all people have this institution, and they decide, oh yeah, we'll just beam him over. I don't care whether he, I don't know, does whatever. He will find us and probably not do bad stuff unsupervised. That was ridiculous. I guess it makes sense that Picard still resents the Borg, but I thought that arc was over with First Contact. Like, it was an arc. The catalyst was the best of both worlds. He broke down on family. Then I Borg was like the next big step, you know? And First Contact was like the culmination. It felt like the arc was resolved. I didn't like how it was basically reset to, okay, now it's the same thing happening again, basically. It makes sense if you think about it that trauma is not just easily solvable in a feature film length event, but it's just from a storytelling thing, it's the same. We are just retelling what has already been told. I don't like that. How does he know Hugh personally? I rewatched the episode I Borg very recently, actually, and like he talked to him, sure, for 3 minutes in the ready room, but like they treated each other like old friends, which I guess they have a shared trauma, with being both Borg. It's kind of like Picard and Seven, but it sounded a bit too familiar. And like Hugh has this huge personality. He was also assimilated as as a young boy or something, not a child maybe. How was he liberated? And how did he become a member of the Federation? I guess they said that. I forgot that, but I wrote it down in the notes. That's all stuff that would have been good to know, to get to know this character. It's just so much has been hand-waved or was just there for plot reasons, or it was like the thing where I praised episode 1 in that the data scenes weren't just fan service. They actually felt placed well in the episode. I hate this reflection on my glasses. That wasn't just fan service that served the story, but why is Hugh there? That's like fan service, but it's the bad kind of fan service where fans will be just like, what, why? What I thought was funny, it's not a criticism, that Romulans sure like little fancy boxes that have deadly gas or nanites or radiation inside of them. I guess it was both times radiation in Nemesis and in this one. Like it seems like a very convoluted way to kill someone. I don't know. But how dumb does he have to be, this Romulan super genius Tal Shiar guy, to try to kill a super deadly robot who can punch through walls and floors with a slow acting gas or radiation that I guess doesn't even do anything against androids. I mean, you could argue, okay, that was his change of heart. He expected her to flee. But it's pretty damn obvious then, and his girlfriend should probably off him the next chance she gets. I really hope Narek dies. I hate him. That was just ridiculous. I thought the memory regaining ritual with the lamps in the room was ridiculous and dumb. I hate it. I wondered whether the teleporter for the Queen, that actually sounds really, that was a great bit, because it explains how the Queen continues to live, and it makes sense. And the Borg are supposed to be these super advanced people, so it's cool that they've assimilated this from a culture. Although I wondered whether it's the species. I could have looked it up, but I was too lazy and too salty about this episode. Are those the same species? They mentioned the species name that had those portals or jumping thingies in Voyager, where the crew visited the planet like on shore leave and they could teleport 10,000 light years away. That would be a cool little bit of continuity. But I guess we've seen also the Iconians have that technology, so it's not unique. Maybe it was a different unknown race. It's all I've written down. I gave this episode a 2 out of 5. As a knee-jerk reaction, I wanted to give it a 1 out of 5, but it wasn't that bad. It just pissed me off. I guess it's the contrast to last episode that really made me dislike it. I don't know when the next thoughts on Picard will go up. Probably in a few days, maybe. I don't know. I have to watch the episode first. And maybe I will look less like ass then. But maybe I will just make myself look even more horrible too. It's actually a cool rating system, is it not? The worse I look, the worse my opinion is of the episode. That would be a good idea. But it doesn't make sense, because I looked terrible in the last one, and that was my favorite of the series. I have to think about it. So, thanks for checking this out, and Hope you enjoyed my very negative thoughts. I'm sorry. I really want to love this series. My name is Lee, and see you next time.